What do they ask you after 120 years? In other words, when a soul leaves this world and stands in front of the so-called heavenly tribunal before entering Gan Eden, what do they ask? What do they want to know about you? You have all kinds of suggestions. People say that your life passes before your eyes like some kind of a movie. But the Talmud says that there are certain key questions that they want to know about you. One of them is, Tzipisa liyeshua. Did you, in this lifetime, did you spend time? Did you anticipate? Was it a priority for you that Mashiach should come? Now, it's interesting because most people would expect questions would be along the lines of, were you a moral person? Were you a generous person? Were you a tolerant person? And all of those things are, of course, really important. Yet the Talmud says that one of the key questions is Tzipisa liyeshua. Did you look with anticipation to the coming of Mashiach? I think many people believe that the idea of Mashiach is maybe a little bit of a fantasy, a little bit far-fetched, or if nothing else, a real part of Judaism, but kind of the cherry on the top. They're more important and pressing issues that we have to deal with right now, like health, looking after people who are in financial distress, and generally trying to make the world a more hospitable, value-driven, moral environment. So why this obsession, and why is it that the Torah would expect Tzipisa liyeshua? Did you look forward to Mashiach? I think it's important for us to appreciate that in Judaism, Mashiach is not a detail. It's not a nice to have. It's not like if everything works out according to plan, we'll get this wonderful reward at the end. Mashiach defines what the whole purpose of Judaism is. It's for that reason that the Rambam, when he lists 13 ikarim, fundamental principles of what Judaism is all about, he says faith in God, the fact that God has no physical form, the concepts of reward and punishment, and amongst that list is Mashiach. So much so, in fact, that he says that any person who does not believe and look forward to Mashiach on a regular basis rejects the whole of the Torah. And you have to wonder why. Why would that be a rejection of the whole of the Torah? Surely I could be a good Jew, a very religious individual, a very decent individual, a mensch, without necessarily thinking about Mashiach. So what is it about Mashiach that makes it so central? As far as Judaism is concerned, like anything else, if you start a project, you usually have a plan and you have a goal of what this project should lead to. Much more so when you're talking about Hashem. If Hashem started a project called creation, he obviously had a goal for what it should lead to and what would culminate creation. So what was his intention? To have a world where people achieve great technological advances? Was his intention to have a world where people create renown for themselves and leave their stamp on the annals of history? Was the purpose of creation just to allow us the opportunity to create wonderful communities where we look out for each other? And all of those are probably true. But the ultimate goal for history, the ultimate purpose for creation, is that there should be an environment that is very much the here and now, physical, with all of its physical components, and yet Hashem would feel and be very much a part of it. The way that the world works right now, God is quite theoretical to most of us. And that's not what he wants. He wants that we should be able to experience godliness in a revealed fashion. That's what Mashiach is. Mashiach is not some superhero who comes swooping out of the clouds and turns the world on its head. Mashiach is a leader who ushers in an era where Hashem is no longer relegated to the bookshelf, but very much a palpable part of our lives. And naturally, that brings with it the most incredible blessings, the most incredible goodness, and the most incredible sense of morality. It's just that he's allowed us over the course of history to build that future through our choices, through our dedication to the values of Torah, through the way that we treat people. And that's why when a person eventually leaves this world, they're asked, so were you part of the plan? Was your Judaism all just about creating a healthy, wholesome environment for yourself? Or were you in touch with Hashem's ultimate goal and purpose, which was to transform the whole world to be a place that is hospitable for God?